How's it going, everyone? This is Anon. None of this is financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. Alright, so Sunday, I was going to say, obviously the features are looking pretty bleak on the SPY. Let's go ahead and just let people know. Alright, got some people coming in now. Sorry for the late start. I was going to say my wife was not feeling good, so I ended up having to do the kids by myself tonight, so I had to do all the stuff normal. Normally we split. I had to do all of it, so. What's up, Shaddy? My weekend was good. Pretty uneventful. My mom got honored on Friday for like some community award. She's going in for surgery on this week on Thursday, so it was nice to be able to, do that celebration for her. I'm sure she's gonna be fine, but she's obviously nervous about the surgery, but she was very, very happy. It was a surprise party for her, and she was honored, and nice things. All right, so what's up, Jesse? And congrats to her prayers. Yeah, appreciate it. Like I'm pretty sure she's gonna be fine. It's a relatively minor surgery, and hopefully it's a quick recovery too. So you never know, but it's one of those things where out of all things that are going on, that's probably not even top of my thoughts, because it's a very normal surgery. I think it's fine talking about it. She's having a hernia surgery, so pretty standard, and I'll probably have to have one myself. So let's go ahead and let me get into some stuff. All right, let me let people know we're in here. All right. Sweet goodness, what do we have? I mean, we can go over kind of whatever people want. That's totally fine. I'm thinking that. I'll make sure I've got. We can go over. Let's go over the numbers, because obviously things have settled out now over the weekend, so we can kind of take a look at all the relevant numbers for. We'll start with Aterian, and then we'll go down the list of the stocks that people want to see. So let's do that. Let's go grab the link real quick. Oh, that's weird. I realized my I guess, sorry. Guess you guys can see what kind of monitors I have. But let me put this back onto this one. So how did the free float SI go down and the stock price also went down on Friday? Yeah, so you're gonna have to look into how swaps work, credit swaps, and there's like I'm writing a DD on it. It's just a lot to kind of like. Honestly, it's a lot to go into. I'll put out that DD as soon as I can. I'm trying to wrap up all this stuff because it's hard to find time right now with the summer. I'm like having to actually go out in the field a lot, and weekends I'm still with my family, and you know, my wife like you spend a lot of time doing this stuff during the week. You know, your weekends are ours. I was like, all right, so I'm trying to give them that, but essentially what you're like, I think you can look this up. Let me link you guys at least. I think Superstock had hit on it at some point. I don't know how long ago it was, but let me just double check and see if I. But once you kind of learn all these like little side loop tricks and like, it's infuriating. Like, and that's how they kick these cans down the road. Go out in the field. Well, sorry, I was in the military. I still call it the field whenever I leave my office. Like, I don't have, it's an old habit. I am no longer in the military, but I still call it the field when I go outside of my office, and you know. What's up, Fish? I know I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I just getting caught up on all the DMs and all this stuff going on. I was telling everyone I had to basically put both my kids to bed tonight and like feed them dinner and all. Like, it just takes like double as long when my wife's not able to do it because she was feeling sick today. So she went to bed around like 6, and so I had to put both kids down and feed them and all that stuff. I was a Marine, Jesse. If you ever see my DDs, it's typically I start them out with I'm a crayon eating Marine, and don't listen to me. So I don't know what you guys are all doing here. All right, let's see. We are pulling up Vortex, right? We need to pull up Fintel. I'm going to pull up my sheets. I know. It's my GERD's acting up today. It's typically when I sometimes have too much. Like, I had probably overate a little bit for dinner tonight, and it's causing some issues. Oh, that's a bummer. It didn't save. I was working on this earlier today, and oh man. All right. So I did realize that I think who was it that I was talking to last time? I think it was on Thursday. We were going over the NP data. You do subtract that out. I went through and I was back testing it. It does look like you do take that out. So I've changed all the equations to make sure they reflect that. Like, for example, for DTC, if you remove the insiders, it leaves you 14 million. And then if you actually subtract institutional ownership, then there's 12 million institutional ownership. You get a free float of 2.8 million, which is positive. So that is at least, and then so basically like the entire float's shorted on DTC if this back test is correct. Like, I'm pretty sure I've completely nailed down like what's going on with that stock now. I've figured out that it's not like negative 11 million institutional ownership. It's not like but basically the float's like 2.8 million, and yeah, I'll just show you. I mean, I'm pretty confident that this is the correct way. So originally what we were doing was we were taking the Class A shares, and I just want to show you guys how I'm doing this, so you can. I also will do it for Aterian later on in the video, as we kind of. I'm just showing you what I was working on. So this is the one right here that I'm pretty confident now on. So you take your Class A shares outstanding. In this case, when we added them up, right? So this is these green ones right here. So if you add them. So we'll say this one, you know, I'm just going to sort by this, right? So these three together give you the 48.47 million, right? And that's reflected in this one and in this one. What did I do? Oh, I changed around how the stuff's sorted. So now I messed up. Okay. Well, I'll show you in a second, though. But you got 48.47, right? So what I did was I took this and I sorted it this way. Is it back? Okay, good. So you take your 48 million, right, for insider ownership, minus out of the 63 million. That gives you a float of basically about 15 million, right? So what you do then is you take all these 13Fs, though, that are not, right, the insiders. So right there, right? So what we do is we'll grab these numbers because these are the current shares. So we're going to go all the way down to here. These are all the 13Fs, right? There's zeros here, so that doesn't matter, and this is an insider. So if you look down here, it gives you a institutional ownership of 12 million, right? So I put that number here, right? So what that gives you then is a free float, technically, of 2.8 million, because you take your almost 15 million. You subtract out this, and that will give you your free float. Now, granted, at any time during this, right, these 12 million, you know, institutional owners can buy and sell, like things can change. But at this point right now, your free float should be roughly around 3 to 4 million, right? So if you take your short interest, which was reported as 2.8 million, and we'll check that again today just to verify, that would basically mean they shorted the entire float, the free float at least. And they're basically allowing these institutions to lend out their shares. So they're starting to get to the point now where they're possibly, if they keep increasing this short interest on this stock, they're going to basically short more than 100% of the float. So. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make sure that this sort of thing goes through, and then we're able to do this for all the different stocks to make sure this is correct. Because initially, if we were going off the Fintel numbers, remember I showed you guys, if you actually use the numbers they have, which was the 63 million shares, and then they were reporting insider ownership at 34 million, you minus that out, it would give you a float of 29 million. But then they've reported institutional ownership at 81 million, and then that would give you a free float of like negative 52 million, which is not realistic. So obviously that's not correct. But I think what I've done is this, like, this looks more reasonable. Because all I did was I basically went through and I took out the NP stuff. So I just sorted only the 13Fs, right? and then I took out all the MP stuff. So I'm only accounting for the MP stuff. So, or sorry, I'm only accounting for the 13F stuff. So that's right now what I'm looking at. We're going to do that with all the other ones. But do you guys have any questions on how that goes now, or I just wanted to make sure I corrected that, because I didn't want anyone to be confused and adding up all the columns and just doing it quickly. I want to make sure that you're seeing that you do have to just go off the 13Fs ones, because the MPs can count towards ETFs, and they can also count towards they can be basically double counted. We want to have as accurate numbers as we can. And I think we need to go through the insiders again just to verify. But at this point right now, those three major firms are holding 48 million shares, and that's not including any of the actual insiders that are the CEO, the CFO, who recently bought shares. So feeling good about how all that's going right now. Yeah, because I can show you guys here. So the float is shares outstanding minus insiders, and the free float is outstandings, insiders, and toots. Correct. That's right, Fish. And so I wanted to kind of verify that, because that's how they're calculating most of the, if you look at some of the other ones, let's go on Ortex real quick, right? So, or at least that's how Ortex had been calculating their stuff. I don't know what they're doing with this one particular stock, because I worked that out today, and I verified it, and I'm like, okay, so all these numbers, because obviously these filings change, and so people buy and sell during this, and we don't get those updates all the time, right away. So, but I mean, they're going over right now, and I'm looking at their holders, and they just have all the stuff wrong. For example, Ortex, right? Ortex is listing out Newmanberger Berman owning 6.88 million shares, right? But they're not reporting any of the other insiders, the major ones. There are two firms that own millions and millions of shares, and they were reported on the 13Fs. And they don't even have them on there. So I don't know what to even make of that, because I'm sitting there going, well, Ortex doesn't even have these companies listed. But everyone else has them. So I can't figure out why they would have that, and I'm gonna contact Ortex tonight and just be like, what's going on with your calculations, because you're missing stuff that's literally filed. So if you see this number eventually jump, on DTC, I think they've got it wrong. I'm pretty damn sure they've got it wrong. All right. Okay. Anyway, we'll go through and let's take a look at Aterian, right, for the week. So let's take a look at Aterian from a fresh view. All right, so they're reporting right now the free float at 28.23. So let's verify it. All right, we can probably verify this. I'm just going to create a new sheet. Hold on 1 second. I'll at least take... All right. So let's figure out shares outstanding. So let's do have they reported anything recently that we can pull up any numbers on? Because technically every time they update with the SEC, I think they're supposed to update them if their float has changed. Okay, let's take a look. Here we go. Okay, they're just saying that one board member is leaving. Okay, let's see. That's the one where they basically can power things through. They don't need board approval. All right. I'm just reading through, seeing if anybody's got the float as of. All right. Let's see. Company information. View filings. So you guys can see what I'm doing. Just going through here and just seeing if. All right. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's see. It's May 9th. Okay, so let's go ahead. Start updating these. So, as of May 9th, 65362 520. Okay. So, let's see about if there's insiders. Let's see if there's anything here. Alright. Let's see if we can find all these listed out. Alright. It's going to be pain. But that's them acquiring. You know, they really need to make this easier. Like, they should just have, like, an easy section where you don't have to, like, manually add up every single, like S4 form, like the SEC Form 4 is basically like they do have the one like Section 5, which basically tracks, I think, total ownership. So maybe that's what I'll do is I'll just say, okay, I'm going to do something that it's a pain in the butt, but we're going to say insiders, and we'll say first guy is see, this is what you guys are missing, right? Like, that's what everyone wants to watch. Everyone wants to stream a bunch of DD and boring. But it's important to get the numbers right, and I think that's something that we can do better than a lot of the other like meme stocks. As far as like, obviously, GME's got they're on top of their stuff, but there's plenty of other communities that like half of them aren't even reporting the correct numbers. So let's see if we can make sure ours is at least as close to accurate as possible, because right now this market's choppy and this stock can fly at any point. So it's important for us to make sure that we know all the numbers. That way, when they're trying to, kick the can down the road like they just did, we are aware of where we are and where they are. Because I think in the end, it's going to be very important for us to figure out, how this all fits together. Obviously, we're already seeing, some results from Fintel. I think, what was the last one that I saw? Let me see. I can pull up Fintel real quick. But I think when I saw it, I said Aterian, and then we looked up owners and retail ownership, and it said top companies with most retail ownership. And they're at number 1 is Aterian with 7.35. So I thought that was pretty cool. And nobody's even close, because they said that any amounts under 1% are shown as a dash, and nobody else has one except for us. So we're already seeing that, coming through. All right. So anyway, we were going through and we were trying to figure out how many shares some of these officers have. So let's do this. I don't see him selling anything. He's just been acquiring. So 4 for 4, or being granted. 429. Okay. Let's see what we got. So Yano's got we know who he is. 707 252. Oops, not point. I need to put a comma in there. Okay. Boring. Alright, let's see. This is Joseph. Just put their. I'm going to start abbreviating because it's. I'm sure this is what everyone came to watch, right? So, Sunflower, you need to just realize that look up swaps. Let me see if I can link you something, and it would probably explain to you how this all fits together and works. Let me just see if I can pull it up. All right. we're going to say swaps. Let's see. All right. All right. So, ApeCoin getting there first. All right. Here, I'll post this for you guys. That's one thing, but basically, this guy also was pointing out the same exact thing. So if you, oh, sorry, yeah, I don't have ApeCoin or Bitcoin's crashing, right? Isn't that what's going on? Bitcoin's like at 25. It bounced a little bit today. When I looked at it, it was like 20. What was it? 20. It was under 25. I think it was like 24. I thought. But yeah. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna set this one out for crypto. I might throw like 500 or $1,000 at it, and if it goes down more, I'll buy some more. But yeah, I think Ethereum I'm gonna start buying again at 1,000. So, but neither here nor there right now. No, don't do it yet. Okay, wait for. I can hold. I'll just put more money into Aterian. DTC, HUSA. I already have a bunch of money in all those. Okay, so anyway, we were going through, right, and we were just updating some of these numbers. So, who were we on? We were on Joseph R. Let's see. Has he gotten his shares yet? Yeah, he just pulled up with 500,000. This is Anton's. He's the new CFO. Say V. He's got 500,000 of them. Off the bat, right? He came in swinging and said, all right, give me 500,000 of those bad boys and we'll be good. All right, so this is he's still got 467,601. Practically, how can it affect? I'm sorry, what's going on? Someone says to go up. IMPP. All right. You guys don't want to watch me just do DDD all day? Okay, that's fine. Let's take a look at IMPP. Alright, so they were up 7%. It looks like they hit the spring here. Let's just take a look. Kind of reminds me of... The volume's picking up, though, so that's good. So let's take a look real quick. Let's do it on... where are we at? Load studies to... Alright, we need to take off the log or the fit studies though. Come on, where is it? There, that's a little better. Alright, so we're taking a look at IMPP. Alright, these guys. Let's take a look at the 1 hour, low of 338. It's picked up some volume here. That's a big candle. Some AM. Alright. Are we heading towards a terrible recession? Yeah, we are. Most likely. I mean, obviously that's not financial advice. That's just my personal opinion. I think we're going to be going down. We're going to revisit a bunch of different gaps on the SPY that were left and, you know. And do you ever invest long in biopharm undergoing trials? No. That's, to me, like, for every, like, 4 you buy, like, one of them pops. And I know that's all you need to do to keep that going, but it's just risky. It's not my personal, like, I know you can make a ton of money doing it, but at the same time, you know, it seems like a crapshoot at times. All right, so... I mean, they're getting volume. It seems healthy. I mean, it looks like they are basically going to consolidate. Now, I will say, if you look at the TTM, it is going down right now. And you still have this crossover on the MACD that has... So, let's take a look at the 4 hour real quick. See what it looks like. I mean, it is starting to come down. You can see. Now, we'll see if it regains strength, because they do have these two. And it's coming here, so it could bounce back up and then make a new high of like $1 or something. So I could see that happening. Let's just see on the daily. So, I mean... Yeah, I mean, you can see here, this is a stock that's squeezed before. What was the date on this? It's back in March, it looks like. It looks like it left a bunch of bag holders. So it probably, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying, like, you can see when things move up that fast and move down that fast, you're going to have a bunch of people who bought in these areas that are probably either still holding or looking to get back up in that range. So it's the same thing with, like, most of these meme stocks. Like, they're trying to shake the tree. So... Yeah, it's because it's 11. I'm like, why am I so tired? Normally I start these at like 9. All right, so let's pull up that one. But yeah, it looks like it could possibly go. I mean, CCI is coming down on the daily. It looks like it will, if you're on the daily, it looks like it's going to cross over. So you could see another run on this stock. That's what it looks like. It just depends on which time frame you're looking at. Like, if the market tanks and these guys aren't squeezing, they'll probably cross over on the bearish side and then consolidate for a couple days before they. Let's take a look and just see what their short interest and all that stuff looks like. I haven't looked at this one personally, so I don't know a ton about it. But I do know that right now the small stocks are starting to be, looked at because obviously crude oil prices are sky high and probably not going down. They're about 14.5% short. The cost to borrow is starting to rise. Utilization 100%. Yeah. Let's see how long they've been on. They're on the threshold list. Did Ortex get a new section? Flag shorts. Huh. They don't have any FTDs? How big's this float? The float is... it's pretty big. Let's see. 141 million free float. Yeah, so they had a breakup where the utilization did come down a bit, but overall, it looks like it could be squeezed. It's getting some good volume, so yeah, that one looks pretty good. If you're just looking for confirmation, yeah, it looks like it's fine. Let's see. The next one's Alt. Alright, let's see. Let's take a look at this one. Do people have... sorry, I'm tired. Do people have... positions in like Alt and IMPP? Is that why you're asking? Oh, yeah, you need to set your resolution to 1080. If not, then you won't be able to see anything really. SWC. Yeah, I was going to say, so right now we were going through and I was showing everyone before we jump back into this because people wanted to look at individual tickers. But I'm going through the numbers and I'll finish that tomorrow. But it sounds like people don't want to watch me stream researching insider ownership and then putting it in a column. All right, so let's take a look at this one. That's on the 1 minute. Let's look on the 1 hour. I mean, it's running. It's a little hot on the RSI, but it's running. Let's see. It is coming down on the TTM. It's crossing on the awesome. The price, though, is definitely elevated. So is the on balance, the money flow, all that stuff's just flying up. The volume's a little bit lower than the initial move here, but oh, wait, one last thing. I was supposed to double check to make sure on IMPP that there's no like glaring okay. So they do have warrants on IMPP. set for 55 cents. So what I can tell you is this. Be careful on this one. I'm just looking. Yep. They got warrants on this one. They got warrants for 55. There's 72 million shares at 72. Sorry. There's 72 million shares at 55 cents. Those were issued back in May. So IMPP is moving up, but at the same time, they're going to probably fundraise off of this one because there's a fair amount of warrants. There's like 115 million warrants on that stock. So just be aware, IMPP has a bunch of warrants that are already in the money right now that they can exercise at any point. So there you go. Yeah, I'm just telling you guys, like I'm looking here, they have an S1 offering, and then they also have the May warrants, which is quite a bit, so. All right, so here's the deal, guys. I'm tired. I'm like beat. I woke up at like I don't know, like 5 something this morning, and my wife went to bed at like 6, and it's already like 11:30 here. So I just wanted to jump on and let you guys know that I'm gonna work on the DD tomorrow, but I'm not gonna go through every random ticker right now. So what I'll just show you guys is my plan for tomorrow is to to finish up what I started on the sheets. Where is it? Here, right? So I'll go through all the insiders, all that stuff, pull it out, right? We'll confirm the insider ownership. We'll then create the new float. We'll go through the institutional ownership line by line and make sure that that isn't, skewed from the numbers we were using or the Fintel numbers. I'm just going to literally go through every single filing so we have hard numbers, and then that's where we're going to start this week. And then I'm going to go ahead and, write a, piece up on it, and we'll go from there. But yeah. It looks like the market is going to crap itself. So that's where we're at right now. And hopefully in the morning, we don't get dragged too far down with it. But we're going to. If the stock market's going to go down to like, catastrophic levels and everyone's freaking out, every meme's going to get hammered along with it, is my guess, until they don't, until they start covering. So we will see. But just be aware of what's going on. All right, cool. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will do my best to get this stuff out. It's just been really busy this last couple weeks, and it's, it's frustrating because I want to be able to write the stuff. I just don't seem to have enough time in the day. So you guys take it easy. Have a great evening, and I'll go ahead and talk to most of you tomorrow. Have a great evening, guys. All right, bye.